Good morning, J24/7! It's our absolute pleasure to have you joining us today for this special presentation recorded live from our studios at Raffy Place, Sussex, England. You join us today for our awards ceremony highlighting some of the heroes of faith. We're so glad that you could join us, and we hope that you could stick around for all of the action. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please get on up out of your seats and be upstanding for Scotland's finest. It's Major Stretch and his faithful dog, Skipper.
Oh, hi there, J24/7. I was just doing my wee exercise on the exercise board. Oh, my what? Oh, J24/7. I have no idea what happened there, and I apologise profusely. We are more professional than that. Right, Skipper, hit the music.
Okay.
Okay, everybody, get up on your feet, get up off the sofas. It's time to do our exercises. Are you ready? We're going to start with stretching to the right and then go to stretch to the left, and we can carry on as usual. But you know that already. Stretch to the right. Stretch to the right. Stretch to the left. Stretch to the left. Very good, J24/7. Very good. Whew. Doesn't this music just do something to you? No, but I'd like to do something with this music. Right, here we go. Stretch forwards and wiggle those fingers. Stretch forward and wiggle those fingers. Love it. Love your work. And we're gonna do some dancing. Hey, ho, with a clap. I said I want to see every one of you clapping. At home, get your mums and dads to clap too. That's it. Don't let any of these parents sit on sofas. That's not for them. Everybody up and dancing. Are you ready? The stars in heaven. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Very good. Right. We're going to stretch down to the floor. Stretch down. Stretch down. Stretch down. One more. Stretch down. Very good, J24/7. Very good. Whew. We're going to do some more stretch to the right. Stretch to the right. Let's go left down. Stretch to the left. Stretch to the left. Skips.
Yes.
Are you feeling warmed up?
Oh yeah,
Are you feeling ready to sing and praise? Then let's sing to Jesus. Are you ready? In 3, 2, 1, let's go!
Yahweh, Yahweh, you seek and save what once was lost. Yahweh, Yahweh, the great Redeemer, the great I am, instead of shame, a double portion from despair. There is joy, restoration from a ruin. There's redemption through your name. Yahweh, Yahweh, you seek and save what once was lost. Yahweh, Yahweh, the great Redeemer, the great I am. You restore the broken, but you don't stop there. You bring for redemption, your love drives out fear. The center of heaven, the name over all, the rock of the ages, who was and is to come. You restore the broken, but you don't stop there. come Yahweh, Yahweh, you seek and save what once was lost. Yahweh, Yahweh, the great Redeemer, the great I am. Center of heaven, the name over all, the rock of the ages, who was in.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the J247 Heroes of Faith Award Show. This morning we will be giving out an award to the best leading man to one of our heroes of faith. This man started off by being floated down a river by his mother, to then being adopted by a princess, and when he grew up, running away to the desert where he was scared for his own life. After an encounter with God through a burning bush, his life changed completely. Let's take a look at the award. The award for the category of the leading man goes to Moses.
Hey guys, and welcome to week 4 of our theme, Heroes of Faith. This week our hero is Moses, and he appears a lot in the book of Exodus, which is where our memory verse is from today. Exodus 3 verse 15 says, "Say this to the people of Israel, Yahweh, the God of your ancestors, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob has sent me to you." We're now going to learn how to trust God by looking at the life of Moses.
Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? Are you doing well? I hope you are. Have you got your booklets with you? Yes? Go and find them if you haven't. Beth has already told us that our hero for today, our best leading man, is Moses. And Rin's just told us that our memory verse for today is Exodus 3:15. Get it written down. Keep a record of what we've been looking at. Now, Moses is a huge character in the Bible. Moses wrote the first 5 books of the Bible. Moses is... his story permeates the whole Bible. You'll find references to him everywhere. He's just a huge character. So how do we pick one thing to talk about today with you to show why he's our hero? Well, I'm going to go right back to the beginning of his story. You'll know probably already about Moses being put in the basket and being put in the river when he was a baby and then floating down the river and all that sort of stuff. Maybe you've watched Prince of Egypt and you've seen some of this in that story. Well, we're going to do the next part of the story. We're going to read Exodus 3 and 4 today to have a look and try and understand what made Moses who he was and what makes him the hero that we can look up to. So I'm going to read from Exodus 3, verse 1. Are you ready? You can follow along if you have a Bible at home. One day, Moses was tending the flock of his father-in-law, Jethro, the priest of Midian. He led the flock into the wilderness and came to Sinai, the mountain of God. There the angel of the Lord appeared to him in a blazing fire from the middle of a bush. Moses stared in amazement. The bush was engulfed in flames, but it didn't burn up. "This is amazing," Moses said to himself. "Why isn't that bush burning up? I must go and see it." Notice that he's not amazed that the bush is on fire. He's amazed that the bush is on fire and not burning, as in it's still intact. That's incredible. When the Lord saw Moses coming to take a closer look, God called to him from the middle of the burning bush, "Moses, Moses." "Here I am," Moses replied. "Do not come any closer," the Lord warned. "Take off your sandals, for you're standing on holy ground." I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob. When Moses heard this, he covered his face because he was afraid to look at God. Then the Lord told him, I have certainly seen the oppression of my people in Egypt. I have heard the cries of their distress because of their harsh slave drivers. Yes, I am aware of their suffering. So I have come down to rescue them from the power of the Egyptians and to lead them out of Egypt into their own fertile and spacious land. It's a land flowing with milk and honey, the land where the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites now live. Look, the cry of the people of Israel has reached me, and I have seen how harshly their Egyptians abused them. Now go, for I'm sending you to Pharaoh. You must lead my people Israel out of Egypt. Wow. I mean, we're only halfway through what we're going to read, and already this is quite a mind blower, isn't it? God is appearing to Moses in a bush. The bush is on fire, but the bush is not burning up. Then God speaks to Moses out of the bush, saying, I'm going to use you to take my people Israel out of Egypt, where they're currently being held as slaves. I'm going to free them from their slavery, and you're going to be the person I send to do it. Moses' response is, but Moses protested to God, who am I to appear before Pharaoh? Who am I to lead the people of Israel out of Egypt? God answered, I will be with you, and this is your sign, that I am the one who has sent you. When you have brought the people out of Egypt, you will worship God at this very mountain. But Moses protested, if I go to the people of Israel and tell them, the God of your ancestors has sent me to tell you, they'll ask me, what's his name? Then what do I tell him? What do I tell them? God replied to Moses, I am who I am. Say this to the people of Israel, I am has sent me to you. God also said to Moses, say this to the people of Israel, Yahweh, the God of your ancestors, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, has sent me to you. This is my name to remember for all generations. Now, this is remarkable. This is God for the first time revealing his name to Moses. And already we've seen Moses talk back to God twice, haven't we? He's already said, who am I to go and appear before Pharaoh? And who am I to go and lead the people of Israel out of Egypt? And then, that's his first protest. And his second protest is, but if I go and they ask me, who is this God that sent you? What am I going to say your name is? Moses is talking to the true and living God and saying, God, I don't know I can do this. Sounds a bit like Barak last week being told by Deborah, the judge and the prophetess. She was the prophet, she heard things from God and she said them to other people. She said, this is the day that God will give you victory. And Barak says, oh, I'll go, but only if you come with me. Sounds very similar, doesn't it? We've got people complaining even when God's telling them he's going to lead them to victory. The people are still complaining, whether it was Barak last week or Moses this week. Moses goes on at the start of chapter 4 to say, but Moses protested again. What if they won't believe me or listen to me? What if they say, the Lord never appeared to you? Then the Lord asked him, what's in your hand? A shepherd's staff, Moses replied. Throw it to the ground, the Lord told him. So Moses threw his staff and it turned to a snake. Moses jumped back. Then the Lord said to him, reach out and grab its tail. So Moses reached out and grabbed the tail of it, and it turned back into a staff in his hand again. Perform this sign, the Lord said to them, and then they will believe that I am the Lord, the God of your ancestors, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. You might think that this would be enough to convince Moses that God is on his side. He's just seen his own staff, his stick that he holds as a shepherd, turn into a snake, and then when he's picked up by the tail, it's turned back into a staff again. But Moses is not totally convinced. God then makes Moses put his hand inside his tunic, and then when he takes his hand out, he's got a horrible disease on his hand. Then he puts his hand back into his tunic again and pulls it out, and it's completely clean. And then God says, if they don't believe those two signs, tell them that if you take some water out of the Nile and pour it out onto the floor, when it hits the floor, it will turn to blood. God is completely overwhelming him with evidence that he is who he says he is. And Moses says, verse 10, but Moses pleaded with the Lord, "Oh Lord, I'm not very good with words. I never have been and I'm not now. Even though you have spoken to me, I get tongue-tied and my words get tangled." Then the Lord asked Moses, "Who makes a person's mouth?" Good question, God. "Who decides whether people speak or do not speak, hear or do not hear, see or do not see? Is it not I, the Lord? Now go. I will be with you as you speak, and I will instruct you in what you say." But Moses again pleaded, "Lord, please, send anyone else." Then the Lord became angry with Moses. "All right," he said, "what about your brother, Aaron the Levite? I know he speaks well, and look, he's on his way to meet you now. He will be delighted to see you. Talk to him and put the words in his mouth. I will be both of you as you speak, and I will instruct you both in what you do. Aaron will be your spokesman to the people. He will be your mouthpiece as you stand in the place of God for him, telling him what to say. And take the shepherd's staff with you and use it to perform the miraculous signs that I have shown you." Wow, there is a lot in that. What an amazing encounter between Moses, the man who's very aware of his humanity and his frailty, and God, who's even more aware of his godliness and his above all else-ness. The problem that Moses has is Moses keeps on thinking about Moses. He's not thinking about the God who's with him, who's talking to him from a bush that's on fire but isn't burning up. A God that can make him throw a staff on the floor and it turn into a snake, and then you pick it up again and it turns back into a staff again. He's not thinking about the God who gives people their mouths to speak or not to speak. He's thinking about, "Oh, it's little old Moses. I've never been good with words and I'm not now, even if you tell me what to say, God." He's thinking about the wrong thing. He's thinking about Moses and all his own frailties. He's not thinking about God. The lesson that we are going to take away from Moses is focus your attention on God. Let's not fix our eyes on us and our frailties and be like Barak last week. "I'll go, but only if you come with me." Or Moses this week, "I can't speak and I've never been very good at speaking." Fix your eyes on God. Speaking of which, in your groups today, we've got another psalm for you. And this week, our psalm is Psalm 90. And it was actually written by Moses. So pause the video, take a look at Psalm 90, read through it, pray through it, and then come back and see me again in a minute. See you in a bit. Welcome back, everyone. I hope that your prayer and your reading time went well as you went through Psalm 90, the Psalm of Moses. Before we go, let's remind ourselves of what the memory verse is. It's in Exodus 3, verse 15. God said to Moses, "Say this to the people of Israel, Yahweh, the God of your ancestors, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, has sent me to you." Let's remember that our God is the great, true and living God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And let's not be like Moses, who I underlined him just to see how many times it was, who protested 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times in the face of God. He protested 5 times. Let's not do that when we hear God speak to us and to say to do things. Maybe we feel like we're at school again and God's encouraging us to be kind to the person who sat next to us because perhaps they're having a hard time, or to be good and help the teacher in this place, or to help our mums and our dads and our grown-ups. Let's do it. Let's hear that nudge from the Lord and let's act on it. Let's not protest 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Come on, Moses. God's on your side. Take your eyes off yourself and get your eyes on him. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm wondering what crafty treats Beryl's got tucked up her imaginary sleeve for us. Let's go and see Beryl, shall we? See you next week. Bye.
Hello children, it's me, Beryl, the crayon, and I'm here to let you know about all the craft things that are available for you this morning. Now today we've been talking about Moses, haven't we? So you're going to find all sorts of Moses themed craft on our website, kf.church/online. Go and check it out, and if you get on well with what you've done, why not send us a photo? We love seeing your photos, so please send it in to children@kingdomfaith.com by Tuesday so we can include it in next week's video. Woohoo! Thank you so much. Ta-ra!
Hi J24/7, I'm Isabel. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed learning about Moses. We're looking forward to seeing all the pictures of the craft activities you will do. Now let's remember this week to focus on God rather than on ourselves. I hope you have a brilliant week and I'll see you next Sunday. Bye, God bless you.